We are happy to have the state Republican chair, Jennifer Carnahan. Thank you so much for coming in.
Glad to be here.
All right, I do have to ask you, I'm sure it doesn't pain you, but I want to ask you about the chaos, certainly with the Swanson campaign and these allegations that Attorney General Lori Swanson is denying.
Yeah, there certainly is a lot of chaos on the Democratic side, especially heading into the primary 2 days away. And you know, when you have the other party beating each other up and bringing out negative things about the candidates, they're doing the work for us. So, you know, it shows that there's a lot of discord on that side, and it just gives us a reason to highlight and promote our candidates and what we stand for and what our candidates will do to make Minnesota better.
Okay, well, the former governor, Tim Pawlenty, and Jeff Johnson, the Hennepin County Commissioner, certainly aren't singing Kumbaya together. They're also fighting each other. I mean, isn't that good for Democrats? You
know, it's certainly a spirited debate between those two gentlemen. You know, at our state convention on June 2nd, our group of state delegates endorsed Jeff Johnson by acclamation, and we came out of that convention united. We've certainly watched Jeff work incredibly hard all around this state. I've said this before. He has earned and deserves the right to be our candidate on the general election ballot in November.
Okay. And as party chair, you are here obviously to promote the endorsed candidates. That's what the party is about. But yet Governor Tim Pawlenty is a political force. He certainly has an awful lot of money, and according to some polls and according to some inside polls that we're hearing about, he's got a substantial lead. Do you buy that?
You know, there's absolutely no doubt that Governor Pawlenty did a great job when he served Minnesota for 8 years. I don't think anyone on the Republican side would dispute that. But when we look at this race, Jeff Johnson is bringing a different approach. He's working from the grassroots. He's built support all across Minnesota. He provides a different and fresh perspective and voice. And he truly wants to do this for the right reasons. And I really believe strongly in everything he stands for. And I believe he has great momentum going into Tuesday. So, you know, polls are always out there and they'll say what they say, but it's really going to come down to how the votes turn out when the polls close at 8 p.m.
You know, there's been a lot of focus on the Minnesota Attorney General's race. On the DFL side, you've got 5 very strong candidates. Their Republican-endorsed candidate, though, Doug Warlow, has been campaigning for a year. There hasn't been a Republican AG in Minnesota since 1971. Do you think that he really has a shot here?
Oh, I think Doug Warlow has an incredible shot at, you know, winning the Attorney General seat in November, and it would be historical on many levels. You know, he has great experience as a lawyer. He has been in the party before, served in the state legislature. He as well has been working across the state, as you mentioned, over a year, I think almost 2 years running for this seat, and he's built up a lot of grassroots support too. And I think people of Minnesota, they want something different. They want to know they have someone in that office who is going to uphold the law and do the right things and not use that office as a way to politicize issues or things like that.
I want to ask you about the Trump factor here. You were obviously one of the key organizers of that rally in June. The president seemed to have a great time there. Yet President Trump does remain a difficult issue for some Republicans, including Congressman Eric Paulson, who has tried to stress the differences he has with the president. Where are most Republicans, you feel, when it comes to the issue of the president, his policies, and also the tone he sets as commander-in-chief?
I think most Republicans across the state, including a lot of elected officials, strongly stand behind the president and support the policies and the leadership he's brought to our country. He's done a lot of great things, tax reform being one of them, standing up for our borders, doing things with tariffs to make sure that the United States always stays strong on the trade market. So those are all positive things. When I drive around this state, and I'm around the state every day from northern Minnesota to southern Minnesota, there is so much energy for President Trump. You know, we walked in a parade the other weekend and I was holding a Trump sign, and when I walked by, people would start cheering and clapping. And so the momentum is very strong for the president, and as we've seen as he's gone around the country in other key races, he does bring an energy and helps turn out voters to get Republican candidates across the line.
Okay. Congressman Jason Lewis is in a race that's considered a toss-up in the 2nd District. He's facing Angie Craig, the Democrat there. There have been a number of stories that have used old radio clips from when he was a very successful talk radio host in this market. Is that going to hurt him?
I don't think that that will hurt Congressman Lewis. You know, these are the same attacks that they brought against him in 2016, and he won. And he has done a phenomenal job being in Congress for 2 years. He's one of our strongest members out of Minnesota. I personally have had a chance to get to know him. He's been a great partner to work with. He inspires me every day. And I think this is all just chatter that won't really have an impact, because people are going to look at his record. And when you look at that, you see he's got a top-notch record.
All right. Well, Jennifer Carnahan, the chair of the Minnesota GOP, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.